Welcome back to the Spread Zone, the only podcast dedicated to making you, our loyal Spread Zone listeners, some serious money. My name is Rizz, alongside the best in the business, Mr. Tim McKernan, who's dressed to the nines today with no ball cap.
Yeah, it's got to be alarming for the viewers.
And Mr. Anthony Stalter. And as always, the show is brought to you by our great partners at FanDuel. Build your bankroll right alongside us by using that big, gorgeous FanDuel Sportsbook app. Get the best odds, get great promos, and live bet as the action unfolds. All right, so let's get to it. Segment one.
Yep.
Tim, the recap.
Well,
How did we do?
Nobody did great. Nobody did terrible. But I went 3-4. So I am now 40-39 on the year. 51% against the spread. Both of you gentlemen went 4-3. Oh, I take that back, actually. Rizz, you went 3-4. I had been telling you before the show. You went 3-4.
I was high on myself for a
Bait and switch. You show up to the set thinking you're doing one thing, and then you get to the set and they say, hey, you got to do this.
That's what tells me I'm 4-3, and I believe him.
Rizz was in a great mood.
And now this is going to blow the show up.
Oh, no.
3-4.
What was I? 1-5?
No. I knew 4-3. I thought you both were 4-3. I knew I was 3-4.
Where did we go wrong, Tim?
Rizz, well, if there's one thing that I dug in on, it was outside of my lock on Missouri, which I'm sure will tend to. Texas Tech. You liked BYU. I like Texas Tech. So you lost on that one. Florida State and Clemson. I was telling people about your UConn plus 9.5 Duke play, and they won straight up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was like a sharp play. That's like, what does Rizz know about what's going up at UConn? That was an impressive one.
I'm an East Coast guy.
I know. I thought, you've got to be connected up in UConn and stores. So you got that one. One on the Lions. That was a sweat-free play against the Commanders, and you won on the Panthers against the Eagles against the Packers, and you were getting some points, and then lost on the Buccaneers against the Patriots.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
That one kind of caught me off guard.
That was not as close as we all thought it would be.
No.
I believe I had the Bucks in that one too, didn't I?
You did. You both were on that one. That is correct. Rizz, you lost on one that was the shocker, not necessarily the cover, but the actual straight-up outcome, and that's the Bills and Dolphins with Miami winning straight up, and they were getting 9.5.
That was my lock?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was my lock.
Yeah. Anthony, 4-3, lost on our friends. We were both on Mississippi State.
And they got up 7-0. I almost texted you, Tim. I almost said, there's our Bulldogs.
Look at our Bulldogs.
There's our Bulldogs. Yeah. But I held off thinking, we'll see how it plays. Good thing I didn't, because the other Bulldogs
went off, and finally Mississippi State didn't cover. You were on the Notre Dame Navy over, sweat-free play.
Yep, that was good.
And you were on Alabama LSU. I guess it was close with the spread. You were laying 9.5, but I never felt like that was in danger.
Agreed, yeah.
One on the Falcons. You were all over that one.
Yeah, that one was...
But you got it by a half, right?
Yeah, that was 6. I had 6.5. Yes. And
that was the Germany game?
Yes.
That was the Germany game. Honestly, the Falcons should have won outright in that one.
They should have.
I was wondering what my line was, because that was 6.5, 6, dancing around kickoff. So yeah, I rolled the dice on those dirty birds.
You got home with it. As you mentioned, the Buccaneers cost you, and the Panthers minus 5.5 lost to the Saints.
That was my Bills play for you.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, what's going on with the line?
What were your big takeaways, Anthony, from last week?
My big takeaway is that if certain play, Josh Allen, perfect example, right? If Josh Allen isn't wearing the Superman cape, the Bills are capable of losing anybody.
Yeah,
I mean,
right,
coming off a big win against the Chiefs.
Yes.
That's why it was my lock of the week. That's why the Bills-Dolphins game was my lock of the week.
Yeah, the NFL has been absolutely insane this season. It is tough to handicap. College football, I still feel is trending in the direction of, all right, the teams are playing as they should in November.
Things are starting to settle.
Yes. The problem is, and I'm sure you guys ran into this for our show today, you gotta lay major wood.
That's right.
To get some of these good teams. Indiana is laying 30 against Wisconsin. I can't get there, right. So you're going to have to find some gems, and if you want good teams, you're going to have to lay a big number.
And our whole goal is to make you guys listening and watching money. That's what we want to do. We're building our bankroll alongside you. So I had a tough time picking some of these college football games.
But you did the test. I agree with you. Our records, Anthony, you are in the lead, 44-38. You got your lock last week with the Ravens against the Vikings. So you are 6-5 on your locks, 55% against the number. I am 40-39, 51%, 6-4 on my locks, losing on my Missouri plus 7.5 against A&M. Thought Matt Zollers was going to lead me to glory, and it just was not happening. And it was clear from the first 2 series when I was sitting at Faurot Field in Columbia.
Unfortunately, he played exactly like a freshman.
Yeah.
It's
what was going on at Vanderbilt. Didn't play like a freshman.
No,
there.
we certainly did. I was with you, honestly. I thought about Mizzou last week in our show, and it could have gone either one of 2 ways. Either he was going to play like he did in Vanderbilt, or he was going to play like a freshman quarterback. And you can't fault the kid. It shouldn't be all on him.
No.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate loss.
How am I doing, Tim?
Rizz,
killing it?
31-45, 41% against the number, 5-6 on your locks.
Well, listen, I
46
thought, originally when he told me I was 4-3, I was like, all right, well, hey,
you're feeling good.
Flying high.
And then I cut you right here live on the podcast.
All right, listen, we'll take our first break. When we come back, we are diving headfirst into the Week 12 college football slate. We'll give our 3 picks, hopefully make you all some money. And while you wait, make sure you open up that FanDuel app and get the lines ready. We will be back on the Spread Zone. And we are back on the Spread Zone, of course, brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. It's time to make some money on the college slate. Week 12 on deck. And Anthony, why don't you kick us off with your first pick? And, of course, all these lines are available on the FanDuel Sportsbook app.
So I told you guys in the first segment there, we got to get creative, right? Yes. I'm looking at this South Florida Navy matchup.
Wow.
Total is 65. Tim, why don't you put me down for the over in this one? Defense optional. South Florida scored 55 last week against UTSA. I'll just hammer out some of these scores with the Bulls. 55, 31, 48, 63, 54, 63. Put up 12, but that was against Miami earlier in the season. Even moved the ball a little bit against Florida. But this South Florida team has been rolling. Navy, they have allowed 49 points, 31, 32, 31, 31. It's been ugly defensively for Navy. I think South Florida gets into the high 40s. Navy's got to give me a little bit, but I think we get over that 65.
I got to tell you, I like that play in a major way.
Thank you.
That is getting creative. I did not look in that direction, but I really like that play. The only way it gets blown up is if they have bad weather. I think that's
And I think we'll be good.
That is.
Annapolis can be a little tough, but
that's a glorious play. I enjoy that. I am going to roll with South Carolina off a bye week and the termination of offensive coordinator Mike Shula, getting 19.5 at College Station, taking on the Texas A&M Aggies. I'll take Lenora Sellers and 19.5 at Texas A&M Rizz.
All right, so for my first pick, I'm looking at a fascinating ranked matchup in Pittsburgh. Give me Pittsburgh plus 12.5 at home against number 9, Notre Dame. Now, Notre Dame needs a win for their playoff lives. But for Pitt, this is a non-conference freebie. Their season comes down to their ACC games. They could go for broke here. I think Notre Dame wins. I don't think they cover. So give me Pittsburgh plus 12.5. I think they'll keep it. I think Notre Dame will keep it inside the number. So I'll take the point.
Big day at Pitt. First time they've had game day since 2005. They got ESPN's College Game Day.
And I believe Pitt kind of controls the ACC in some respects.
That's what Rizz is talking about. This is a non-conference game. They win their last 2. They get to the ACC championship.
There you go. Yep. Yeah, so you're right. There's still the path there. I apologize. I was checking out my second play here.
And this is a line that's moving, by the way.
Oh, is that right?
It's a moving line. It was 11.5 yesterday. It's up to 12.5 now.
Interesting.
So I'm wondering what moved the line.
Huh.
But it locked me at a plus.
Money is moving on Notre Dame.
Plus 12.5.
Interesting.
All right, Anthony, your next pick.
I'm going to lay the 6 points with Alabama. I don't think Alabama and Oklahoma are in the same class.
I think that moved to 5.5.
Oh, look
okay,
at Rizz.
Thank you. You're saving me.
You're a gentleman, sir.
You must know something.
I would sit here and I would have never said anything.
Are you on Bama?
I'm on Bama.
Okay, all right. So
I respect that.
It was 6 yesterday. It's 5.5 today.
My man, he's watching. We get to OT. We still got a shot to cover this thing.
Yes.
All right, Rizz, thank you very much. Yeah, 5.5. I don't think that Oklahoma's in the same class as Alabama. Alabama, since losing to Florida State, not only have they won every game, they beat the likes of Georgia on the road, Vanderbilt in a revenge spot. Sorry, Tim. Mizzou on the road. Tennessee they hammered. And then last week in the rivalry game, I know LSU, no Brian Kelly and all that, but look, they handle business against LSU. I love Bama. I think they're a national title contender. And I'm not going out on a limb by saying that, but I think they can absolutely win it. I'm going to lay this to 5.5 now with Alabama, and sounds like, Rizz, you and I are teaming up.
Yeah, they're 4-0 against ranked opponents so far, and they do not lose in Tuscaloosa.
Nope. No, sir.
Put me down as the same thing.
There it is. Alabama getting play from Rizz and Anthony. I'm going to continue to roll with our team, the unofficial team of the FanDuel.
You're going against your boys? You have to.
It's business. It's never perfect.
Atta baby. I like it.
Brown, New Jack City.
When you say that, wearing what you're wearing.
Yeah.
I got chills.
And by the way, are those custom buttons on that suit?
They are. Yeah, it's from the boys 13 and older.
I could tell.
Yeah, I'm going with Mississippi State. I witnessed Missouri. I fear that the boys may have checked out a little bit. Mississippi State's a pretty good team. I keep saying it. I realize their record doesn't indicate it. They did beat Arizona State earlier in the year. Whatever happened this past week against Georgia, notwithstanding, even if Missouri had Bo Prabula, I think I would consider it with the circumstances. Mississippi State +7 in Columbia.
Anthony, your final college football pick.
So I did think about our Bulldogs. I did not go that route, but I was very impressed with Georgia last week against Mississippi State. The total for the Georgia-Texas game is only 47.5. These two teams met in the playoffs last year. It was a very low-scoring game. But if you look at Texas, their recent track record here, they allowed 31 to Vanderbilt. They allowed 38 to the aforementioned Mississippi State. And the other games have been outside of Florida. They allowed 29 to Florida. The other games are kind of low scoring, but something's wrong with Texas's defense. And Arch Manning has actually played much better of late. I like the over in this game. Georgia offensively has been very good all season. So
and defensively, that's been their weakness.
And they've been weakness.
I was looking at this as well. I'm confused by this number. I like this play again.
This is crazy, Anthony.
No, you're on it?
I'm on the game. I'm on Georgia minus 5.5.
Let's hit both.
Texas has really struggled on the road this season. And playing in Athens, it's a tough place, huh?
Very tough place.
Very tough place.
Between the hedges.
I think the Bulldogs defense makes a statement, and they win this one by a touchdown or more. Give me the Bulldogs, giving 5.5 points.
My final college play, you actually referenced it earlier. I am comfortable laying the 30. Kurt Cignetti's one of the only guys, he and Dan Lanning actually, that'll just run up the score just to run up the score. He'll run it up on Wisconsin after the near-death experience at Happy Valley last week. Wisconsin's playing out the string. Indiana will ship Wisconsin and cover the 30. I will take the Hoosiers against the Badgers, lay the 30.
All right. Excellent stuff, fellas. That's a wrap on college football. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We are on to the pros. NFL Week 11. We each got our 3 picks to make and our FanDuel locks of the week. You don't want to miss it. Go to FanDuel right now. Get your no sweat first bet. You can't lose. We will be right back on the Spread Zone. All right, we're back for the final segment of the Spread Zone presented by FanDuel. Time for the big boys, NFL Week 11. Let's get right to it. Anthony Stalter, your first NFL pick.
Rizz, these guys let us down last week, but give me them points with the Buccaneers, plus 5.5 in Buffalo. I mentioned it in our opening segment. If Josh Allen isn't wearing the Superman cape,
in Buffalo,
I'm going to take the Bucs plus 5.5. Josh Allen has been more turnover prone this year than he was in years past. Last year won an MVP because he protected the ball. This year, he's kind of back to that hero ball that we saw two years prior. Yeah. So the Buccaneers are a tough team. I know they lost to the Patriots. I know they're a little banged up, but Todd Bowles loves to blitz, and Josh Allen and the Bills have not handled the blitz very well this year. I think this is a tight game. Give me the Bucks plus 5.5.
Do you have the Bucks winning, or do you have Buffalo not covering?
I'd probably take the Bills straight up, but I like to take underdogs that I believe can win outright, and I would put the Bucks in that category.
I like that plan.
Do you like that hedge that I just...
Well, but I have that in 2 of my 3 NFL picks, and I'm on the Commanders +3 against the Dolphins. It's one of those overcorrection things of what you just saw recently. The Commanders looked, atrocious this past weekend, where your Lions were victorious, sweat-free, as we made reference to in the first segment, Rizz. I'll take the Commanders +3. They are overseas against the Dolphins, who are riding high. It's a perfect storm.
Can you look at that line right now? I got 2.5 now. I don't know. Are you looking at the line right now?
I have it in my spreadsheet.
I got a 3.
You have a 3. Are you on the FanDuel app right now?
Yep.
Sounds like you're about to take the Dolphins.
Changed.
Sounds like you're about to take the Dolphins.
All right. You know what? I will take the Dolphins and give me
2.5. Take it.
You want to lay me the 2.5? I mean,
yeah, you take the 2.5. Tim can take the 3. We've done that before.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Look, and it worked. It was that Texas Mississippi.
Yeah, we got the push. Yeah, you and I got the push,
and Rizz got the win.
I got the win. All right. So my first pick is the international game in Madrid. Miami -2.5. I think. Listen, the Dolphins just dominated the Bills. I think yes, they've been inconsistent, but the Commanders are in a complete free fall. Lost 5 straight, right? Am I right there?
Yes.
5 straight.
Lost
and
their
4 of those losses were by more than 20 points.
They're mad at Dan Quinn in Washington.
So I think this is I almost want to say it's a mismatch. I will lay the short number with Miami, 2.5. Anthony.
Give me the over 49 in the Bengals-Steelers game. The last time these two teams met on that Thursday night, I think Joe Flacco had like 5 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers had 4 touchdowns. They all put on a show. I thought Pittsburgh found their defense a couple of weeks ago against the Colts, but it was really just they generated turnovers. That was it. Otherwise, the defense for the Steelers, I guess they played okay in L.A. I shouldn't fault them for the performance against the Chargers. That was more offense. But this Bengals defense is atrocious.
It is, right?
I mean, it is so bad. But it's the gift that keeps on giving if you like the over. So give me the over 49 Bengals Steelers.
Tim.
Rizz, I've been trying to get this team over the top and taking them, and then the reality is it's just there's no point. Bet against the Titans any chance you can. Texans -7 in Nashville. I'll take the Texans.
All right, for me, my second pick, I am on a game with huge NFC playoff implications. But I'm going to go money line. Give me the Detroit Lions on the money line against the Philadelphia Eagles. Philly's biggest weakness is their run defense, and that is a terrible matchup against Detroit's 1-2 punch, Gibbs and Montgomery. The Eagles are defending champs, but this is a statement spot for the Lions. At even money, I think they win this game outright on the road. So give me the Lions on the money line.
Beautiful.
Anthony.
Give me the Panthers +3.5 in Atlanta. The Panthers waxed the Falcons earlier this year at Bank of America Stadium. I think it was 35-0. Michael Penix has really struggled. He struggled last week against the Colts, and Carolina is coming off a loss to the Saints. So I think similar to what Tim was saying, kind of like a market correction. The Panthers went into Atlanta Week 18 last year, and the Falcons still had an outside shot to make the playoffs, and the Panthers beat them outright. Bryce Young, not a great QB unless he's facing the Falcons. So I think, if anything, the Falcons win by 3. If not, Carolina wins this thing outright. I'll take the 3.5. I'll take the hook, put it in my back pocket, and I think this is a 3-point game either way.
You were talking about taking teams that you thought could win outright, and you're getting points. I will take the Seahawks +3 for what will be a Seahawks home game in Los Angeles when they take over SoFi. Seahawks +3 at the Rams.
I love we're all on different games.
Yeah, we've diversified here.
Yeah. So for my final pick, I'm backing a big favorite on Monday Night Football. Give me the Dallas Cowboys -3.5 against the Raiders. The Cowboys offense looks pretty damn good, right? Unstoppable. Dak Prescott, 17 touchdowns this season. The Raiders offense, one of the worst in the league, and they've lost 3 straight. This is a classic case of two teams heading in completely opposite directions. I will lay the points, the 3.5 with the Dallas Cowboys. All right, fellas, time for our FanDuel locks of the week. What is supposed to be our most confident picks.
Yeah, we've done okay.
We've done all right. Anthony, we'll start with you.
I don't get this line, and normally when I don't get the line, I go the other way. I can't do it here. Give me the Chargers -3 against the Jaguars. Jacksonville's not a good team. They're 5-4, but last week they completely blew it against Houston. Houston offense, by the way, that has been dreadful, even with C.J. Stroud. Last week it was Davis Mills.
Old Davis Mills got him scrambling into the end zone.
Holy smokes! Jacksonville allowed a slew of points last week in that come from behind victory for Houston. I also didn't think they looked great against a bad Raiders team the week before. So I'm laying it with the Chargers -3, who looked very sharp against the Steelers.
I am going to continue to ride with Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech is still flying under the radar in college football, even though they're now ranked number 6 in the CFP. The Red Raiders are at home. They are laying 24 against a bad Central Florida team. Texas Tech's defense is the best defense money can buy. They will hold Central Florida to a low point total, and they'll put up some big numbers. Texas Tech -24 against Central Florida, my lock of the week.
I was super close to picking the Giants-Packers game and saying the Packers -7, but the Giants get rid of their coach. That next week is always a little iffy.
Yeah.
Maybe they're playing for the new guy, so I'm going to stay away from that game. But I am going to stick with a New York team going against them. My lock of the week, the Patriots at home given 12.5 against the New York Jets.
You're laying it.
Yeah, the Jets are, I know they won last week, but
it was the Browns. Yeah.
I don't know.
The Jets beat their mirror image in the Spider-Man meme.
Do you kind of hold your nose with the Patriots going, are they the real thing?
They convinced me last week they're the real deal. That was kind of my last, okay, it's cute. You beat the Falcons by 1, and you had a couple of wins there with the Titans, and you go on the road and beat Tampa. I think Tampa's a good team. Tampa can win against anybody on any given Sunday. I really believe that. You go down to Tampa and do what you did. Yeah, you got my respect, man.
Yeah, and now you go home and you're playing the Jets.
Yes,
and the Jets suck.
Yes, sir.
So
they gave away 2 of their best defensive players.
I think this is a complete blowout, and I think 12.5 points is a good one to lay. So
Patriots booked.
I'm taking the New England Patriots, giving 12.5 against the New York Jets. All right, fellas, feel good?
Yeah, let's have a week.
Let's have a week.
It's time.
We've been kind of right around 500.
We have been.
This is our time, guys.
Let's open one up here, boys. Let's do this.
All right, that's a wrap on this week's Spread Zone. Quick reminder, all of our picks are made on the FanDuel Sportsbook app, so make sure you download it today and tell us as we build our bankrolls all season long. My name is Rizz. That's Tim McKernan. Anthony Stalter. Good luck, and may all your bets be winners. It's the Spread Zone.
We provide information about sports betting for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm gambling regulations in your state of residence. To participate in sports gaming, you must be 21 years of age or older and be physically present in a state where sports betting is legal. If you or someone you know has a sports betting or gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org for more information and further assistance.